Hello viewers, it's Sentai Michael from Screen Reviews, bringing you a new podcast from my subject called the Super Sentai Review. Like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly in case you don't understand me. Also, I'll try to do my best not to reach so hard during this audio podcast recording as well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain your adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain your adult language. If you're under 18. Now, if you're over 18, then you go to watch this audio podcast recording. So, anyway, with this and everything else out the way, let's get to the latest episode of Zenkaiger. So, basically, the episode starts off like this. We see Magine along with Kaiser's grandma at this outdoor cafe, trying some cake, trying some good. I believe it's some cheesecake they was eating at this outdoor cafe. Spending some good time together. Maggie and Kaido's grandma were spending some good time together. Then we cut up to Kaido, who was making delivery for Grandma's store. He just finished dropping off the delivery somewhere, and out of nowhere, here comes Stacy, who wanted to fight Kaido, and Kaido, was trying to get out of fighting Stacy, I got more deliveries, and Stacy was like, what, I'm not trying to hear your bullshit, let's do this now. So basically, Kaido had no choice but to morph up and start to fight Stacy. So basically, Sashimi warned the other Rangers, warned the other Zenkaigers about Kaido fighting Stacy. So basically down the others who was left at the store went to go help Kaido, and Maggie got contacted. So basically, Maggie got contacted by Sashimi, and she headed up to meet the others to help Kaido deal with Stacy. Before she left, a new monster showed up with the power of the tennis world. So basically, this monster I call the tennis shot monster had the power to turn anybody or any Kaido into a tennis ball by using his tennis racket to hit him with a tennis ball. So basically, Kaido's grandma made sure everybody got from the outdoor cafe got away safely, and she even tried to morph. She even tried to morph. So basically, Kaido's grandma was trying to do the morph sequence of her grandson and his fellow Zenkaiger, but she realized that she doesn't have a morpher, and it was just funny in the moment. So anyway, the tennis shot monster turned Kaido's grandma into a tennis ball just like the others. Maggie showed up as she was horrified that that the monster turned grandma into a tennis ball. So basically, lucky that Zox, aka Two Curses, showed up, and started to fight the monster, and Maggie took Kaido's grandma, who is now a tennis ball, to the others. So basically, when she got to see the others, when she got to the others, they was engaged in a fight, and once Maggie told him what happened to Grandma, everybody stopped fighting right there. Everybody was shocked to see Kaido's grandma turn into a tennis ball, including Stacy himself. Stacy and Kaido's grandma have this, Stacy is kind of fond of Kaido's grandma, so basically they had this friendship. Even though she doesn't know that Stacy is a bad guy, she doesn't still know that Stacy is working for the bad guys and whatnot. So anyway, basically, after they stopped fighting, Stacy disappeared after seeing that Kaido's grandma returned to a tennis ball. So anyway, meanwhile, Kikai was fighting the tennis shop monster, and he realized that the tennis shop monster despite all the damage he's doing to the monster, it doesn't affect him. So basically, the tennis shop monster said that, you can't damage me. Only in the game tennis that you can only hurt me. So basically, so the tennis monster, took the opportunity to get the upper hand against Zenkaiger and managed to escape. So anyway, Kurt Bass, meanwhile, back at the headquarters, we see Kurt Bass was talking to King Bulka and his robot pet evil bird Gene about how the tennis monster got the upper hand against the Zenkaigers this time. So basically, King Bulka was that's what you always said about the last couple of monsters. It seems like King Bulk is fed up with Kurtabakian and his stupid monsters and whatnot. So anyway, Stacy was not happy with the situation that the monster turned Kaido's grandma into a tennis ball and whatnot. So anyway, but there was nothing he could do about it. There's nothing that he could do about that. So anyway, meanwhile, back at Kaido's grandma's shop, we see Stacy and Flint, join the others, and they say that, was relating that, relaying the situation that was going on with Kaido's grandma being turned into a tennis ball. So basically, turns out that Zox, aka Two Cousins, knows how to play tennis from reading a manga. So basically, he must have been reading the Prince of Tennis that night. The manga Prince of Tennis and whatnot. So anyway, it's a good manga. Also a good. The Prince of Tennis is also a good manga / anime series if you watched it. So anyway, Two Cousins say that if we're going to speak to tennis monster, we need to work on our tennis skills. So basically, Two Cousins along with the rest of the Zenkaigers started to work on their tennis skills. Turns out that Kaido was a very good tennis player, but turns out that Zuma and the others were pretty careful. So after some after doing some crazy training, montage, getting them ready to play tennis against the tennis shop monster, they finally found the tennis shop monster and challenged it to again tennis, and this is where things start to go a little nutty. So basically, during the tennis shop, the tennis shop monster took that, challenged each of the Zenkaigers, each of the Rangers to a game of tennis. So basically, the tennis monster made short work of Zuan, Gown, Magine, and Broom. So basically, that's when the tennis monster decided to, when it came down to Kaido's turn, the tennis shop monster decided to challenge both Zox and Kaido into a tennis double match. So basically, the monster divided himself into two separate to fight Kaido and Zox. So basically, Kaido and Zox, seems like they had the upper hand against the tennis monster, but the tennis monster got the upper hand against Kaido and Zox. So basically, Kaido and Zox had the upper hand in the beginning of the match, but the tennis monster came back, with his double, and got the upper hand against Kaido is dropped until Stacy showed up. So basically, it turns out that turns out that the tennis monster never met Stacy, and he did not know, and the tennis monster did not know who Stacy was because he never met Stacy. So basically, so basically the monster doesn't know, and he never met Stacy, and he doesn't know that Stacy is on the bad guy side. So anyway, Stacy. So Stacy helped Kaido and Drops out by hoping to take down the detected net mask that the tennis shop monster had on his face. That therefore was the key to taking down the tennis shop monster, because it had detected net mask over his face that was detecting him from damage. So basically, once Stacy took down the detected net mask that the tennis shop monster had on his face, the monster was able to take damage from the Zenkaiger. So basically, so the Zenkaiger morphed up, and Kaido transformed into super mode and took down the tennis monster, with their combined attack, and all the people. All the people that was turned into tennis balls by the monster all the people in Kairos that were turned into tennis balls were turned back to normal. So basically, Stacy, Stacy who was telling Kaido and the others to call him Shidaki in case somebody is watching, so basically, in case somebody's watching, in case anybody from the Chosen Tinto is watching, that tell him to call him Sadaki, out in the open, because he could get in trouble for this. So anyway, Stacy said that this is just I owe your grandma, I owe your grandma this one. So basically, next time, you and the other Zenkaigers, including you two Kaiser, are going down. So anyway, like usual, a giant foot self monster showed up and dissolved the power of the chosen gear of the monster and became a giant tennis monster. So basically, Kaido and Zoc transport into the Zenkaiger old Megazord, but it was too slow for the tennis monster. It was not fast enough to deal with the tennis monster, and that's when Magi and Boom combined together forming the Boom Magi Megazord is able to defeat the tennis monster, and basically the battle was ended with the help from the Magic Boom Megazord taking on the giant tennis monster. And so basically, once the monster was taken down, later back at Kaido's grandma's store, Kaido's grandma was grateful for Kaido and others for turning her, taking down that monster and transform her back into human instead of in the tennis ball. So anyway, basically, Kaido mentions Stacy, or as Kaido's grandma knows him as Sadaki, that mentioned that they bumped into him, and he said that maybe one day he might come back to the store. So basically, Kaido's grandma had a smile on his face, that hearing that hearing from Kaido that maybe that Stacy will come back to the store one day. So anyway, meanwhile, Stacy seems like nobody knows that. So basically, meanwhile, back at the bad guy's hideout in Professor Aizen's lab. Back at Professor Aizen's lab, turns out that nobody. So basically, turns out that nobody, that Kurt Sebastian or and nobody else know that know that Stacy actually helped the Zenkaigers, to defeat to defeat the tennis monster. So basically, so nobody knows that, So basically, not anybody from the Trojan Tento and Dynasty didn't know that Stacy helped the Zenkaigers take down the tennis monster. So basically, he was clear, but Stacy was kind of in a conflicted state that it was like he's supposed to take down the Zenkaiger. That's his job. And out of nowhere, from his shadow, this weird robot appeared from his shadow and started to attack him. And Professor Eisen left, and that's when Professor Eisen showed up. It's like, oh, Stacy, so meet my new experiment robot. Meet my new experiment new soldier. So basically, this weird robot soldier that appeared from Stacy's shadow that tried to attack him was a new creation from Professor Eisen, and this is how the episode ended with Stacy looking at this new robotic warrior that Professor Eisen created and almost got attacked by, and this is how the episode ended. So with Stacy staring at Professor Eisen's new robot soldier, and this is how the episode ended. So anyway, this is a good episode. In my opinion, even though this episode was kind of silly, like most of the Zenkaiger's, this was a good episode. So basically, this was a pretty good episode. So basically, and also we got a new foe for the Zenkaigers as well. So anyway, this was a good episode. So anyway, I can't wait to see this new robot soldier that Professor Eisen created to take down the Zenkaiger in action in the next episode. So anyway, what do you guys think about this episode? Was it good? Was it bad? Or was it just okay? Please let me know or not. Please let me know what the comments below this podcast. So anyway, like always, just sit here, Michael from Screw Reviews. Sign off. 1.